What's up, guys? I'm Kevin Zellman, a mega super fan of The Voice. I love the show so much, so I cannot wait to share with you all of my recaps, my opinions, my comments about all of the auditions from this past week and from here on out for the season. It's currently the second week of blind auditions. Those just ended. We have 1 week left of them. So this current week, we're going to get right into it. It started off with Morgan Fraser. She's from Nashville, Tennessee. She's saying, "I want you to want me." And she chose Blake. And she completely rearranged the song, which she was saying on the conference call that we were doing with her earlier today, that the outpour of support from everyone was incredible. She has never felt this way before, and she came up with this arrangement. This was really interesting. About 4 years ago, she had a dream that she was performing this song on The Voice, and this was way before she even decided to audition for The Voice. I always love the stories where you have a dream and it's literally coming true, as cheesy as it may sound. But she is on Blake's team, his team from this past 2 weeks. It's already starting to look really good because you know how Blake always goes. He's won, I think it's now 4 seasons of The Voice. It's pretty crazy. The second one is Amanda Ayala. She was a rocker girl. She knew what to do on the stage, but for being a rocker girl, I kind of felt like she needed a little more like oomph in her performance. It wasn't as rock as I would have liked. I would have liked to hear like more of like a Janis Joplin growl in there, you know? She did her thing. She made it work. She was singing Mississippi Queen, rocking out on stage. She wanted Gwen Stefani. She said that in her pre-interview, but Gwen actually didn't even turn. But the 3 male coaches, Adam, Blake, and Pharrell, they did turn, and she is now on Adam's team, which I'm excited about. I'm a big Adam and Maroon 5 fan. Alright, so this next guy, guys, his name is Jeffrey Austin. He is from Chicago. This guy knows exactly what he's doing. He has not performed in 6 years, which I could not get over. And he performed Sam Smith's Lay Me Down, and he sounded just like Sam Smith. And most of the time, I don't really like when people sound just like the actual artist who's singing it. I like to hear their rendition of it, what they can do. But this worked. He was on point on the conference call. Everything he was saying, he just gets this music industry. He knows exactly what to do, how to sing it. I think he's going to do an incredible job in this competition. And what floored me was that Gwen was the only coach to actually turn around. Blake, Adam, and Pharrell, they didn't even turn around for him. And I'm literally sitting on my couch like, what are you guys doing? You need to turn for this dude. I'm telling you right now, mark my words, he could potentially win this competition without a doubt. He's incredible. Jeffrey Austin, that was him. Next up was Lindsay Vale. So she's really creative. She sang a completely different rendition of Meghan Trainor's Lips Are Movin'. And I'm really excited to see what she does. She's going to be one of those people where it's going to be, you never know what she's going to sing, what genre, if she's going to completely rearrange the song in a certain way. But she is on Gwen's team, and she went into the competition thinking she wanted to go on Pharrell's team, who did turn around, but she chose Gwen. And I think this girl and Gwen, as we all know, is extremely creative, so I think it's going to work out really well. Next up, we have Manny Cabo. So Manny, we don't really get too many Mannys in this competition. He is a 45-year-old photographer from New York, and he's going to be the resident rocker of the season. He's saying, "Here I go again." And what I see for him in this competition, he's going to be on stage. I don't know if he plays a guitar. I see him playing a guitar, pyrotechnics beside him, the sparklers, everything. I really do think he is another one to watch along with Jeffrey Austin. I think it's going to be a great season already, so I'm super excited, guys. Chris Crump. He's another one on my watch list that he can easily go very, very far in this competition. He's one who left his wedding reception to go audition for The Voice. It was his wife's idea, he was saying. He sang, I love this story, he sang Thinking Out Loud by Ed Sheeran, and on the conference call that we had with him, he was saying how it was a perfect song for him to sing because it was a perfect like next step, or is a perfect way to express his feelings for his wife and an extension of the vows he said to his wife on their wedding day. So it's really cute. I think he's going to have all of the girls' votes on that one for sure. Tyler Dickerson. Guys, this guy has had so many like close encounters with death that The Voice, we all know this is like the show for second chances for someone who didn't make it in the music industry to make it on the show. He hasn't made it in the music industry yet, but this is his second chance because he was close to death numerous times. And Blake actually knew about him. He was signed to a label, and the label unfortunately dropped him. But in the country music world, Blake heard about him a lot. So he knew who this kid was once he said his name. So Blake was really excited to hear about him. And Blake was the only one to turn, and he is on Team Blake Shelton. So Jubal and Amanda, this is a Voice first. They got engaged after they sang their blind audition on The Voice stage. It was so exciting. She could not believe it because she was saying how she didn't really understand where Jubal was coming from because she didn't feel a connection as she normally did with him singing the song. She felt like his mind was completely at a separate area than where hers was during the performance. And if you're a singer, you know, I'm not a singer, guys, by the way. If you're a singer, you have to be in the moment. You have to know exactly what you're doing, what to say, what to sing, how to hit the note. You can't be thinking about anything else. So she was kind of worried about that, and then he had the perfect segue. Blake asked if they're dating, engaged, they're married. He literally got down on one knee, took out the ring, and she said, I do. Or she said yes, I should say. It was really, really exciting. They are on Pharrell's team, and it's always hard to bring a group to The Voice. We've had it once before, the Swan Brothers. They made it very far. So I'm really curious to see where they go in the competition. So night 2, we had Darius Scott. He sang You Make Me Wanna, and he is literally the perfect combination. If you did Pharrell plus The Weeknd, you get Darius Scott. It's an incredible combination. Adam, Gwen, and Pharrell, they all turned, and he said that he has an N-E-R-D tattoo on his back, which that was Pharrell's band prior to him being on The Voice, so he had to go with Pharrell, which I loved. Corinne Bukowski, say that 3 times fast, I dare you. Go, Bukowski. Okay, we did it. So, she's like the resident oddball of the group. She doesn't really fit into any category necessarily. She's a pre-med student, and she sang Cecilia and the Satellite, and Gwen was the only one to turn, which again, I was shocked about. Gwen is like really coming up this season. She's another one that we really need to watch. She's gonna be really good. She's very unique. Chance Pena, he's from Texas, and he sang I See Fire. He's, I'm very curious about him. We don't know too much about him yet, but I'm very curious to see where he goes. He's young, the girls are gonna like him. We all know how influential the girls' votes are for all of these shows, so that will be very interesting. But he's really good, he's really talented. He's on Team Adam. Then we have Victor Kirale. He is from Hungary. He's very well known in Hungary also. So I'm really curious to see how that's going to affect him because Tasan Chin, she won The Voice a few seasons past. She, I believe, was really big in Jamaica. So I'm curious to see if his Hungary fans are going to watch the US version of The Voice and vote for him and take him far in the competition. But he's saying, what's going on? He originally wanted Pharrell when he was going into his blind audition. Everyone turned. He had a 4-chair turned. And he was saying in the conference call that watching it back, he was more nervous watching the show than actually performing on the show itself. And Gwen came up to him after he sang his song for his blind audition, and he was saying that he has no idea what Gwen said to him until he watched it back on TV, which I thought was really funny. But at the end of the day, he chose Adam because he said Adam gave him the best constructive criticism going forward. Next up, we have Cole Kriske. He is from Temecula, California, resident California. Yeah. He sang Dreaming with a Broken Heart, and he, incredible. He's so good. He didn't have a 4-chair turn, though, which I was surprised about. I'm surprised about a lot of things here, guys. Excuse me. So Gwen turns, then Blake, then Pharrell, and he ended up choosing Blake, which I think is going to be a really good pairing for him. He's not extremely country, but he has that twang, which is going to be really good. Lastly, we have Andi and Alex. You guys, they're twins. They're, I think, 23 years old, they said. And they harmonize like no other. They're so good. they're going to go really far. But as I said before, it's hard to take a group through The Voice. But I really do think they got it. They're also on my list of the ones to watch. Excuse me. So they were saying that they're going to lean more towards going to an acoustic vibe. And because there's twins, I mean, they always have to agree on what team they wanted to go on. They had a 4-chair turn, so they had to pick up the draw there. And they told me on the conference call when I was talking with them that at one point, one of them just said, you know what, choose it. I don't know, like, what's going on anymore. This is, like, literally a dream. I feel like I'm in a daze. I cannot handle this. Choose. They chose Adam, which they ended up being super stoked about because he came pleading on his knees to them after he chose them, saying, thank you, thank you, thank you. Ran up, he hugged them. It was, they're really good. Adam's team, so far, I think is the best one out of the 4, out of Blake, Gwen, and Pharrell. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens next week. Monday, we have blind auditions. Tuesday is the best of the blind auditions. And the following week, we start the battle rounds, which I'm super stoked about. It's going to be a really good one. So guys, make sure you tune in every week. Make sure you subscribe. Tweet me at Kevin Zellman if you disagree with me, if you agree with me, any of your comments. And maybe next week we'll put some of your tweets on here as well. So until then, guys, see you later.